Morning, everybody. Good morning. We are very organized here today at Unity. And I love to do this at the holiday time because it's a tradition in my family, and I hope you enjoy it too. I wasn't here last week, so we have 3 ornaments to talk about. The first one is the icicles, and remember as a kid you kind of threw them on the tree, and there were these big clumps of icicles that your mother had to straighten out. Icicles have 2 meanings. The first meaning, which I love, is that the angels were so overcome with joy at the birth of the Savior that they wept tears of joy. And God collected those tears and spread them over the earth in the form of crystals. The second meaning is probably a lot more practical. Jesus was born in the desert, as we know, and an icicle represented rain, and that was considered a miracle from God. So maybe if you put icicles on your tree, you can use both of those interpretations. And then stars are really, really important as Christmas decorations. So the 6-pointed star represents the house of David, descended from Abraham. Jesus was born into the house of David because in those days everybody was born into a house of some, and he was born into the house of David. Today the 6-pointed star is the flag of Israel. The Star of David is also known to Rastafarians as the symbol of the relationship with Queen Sheba. And Solomon. Solomon was, if you remember, David's son, and David was that great warrior king. But Solomon, his son, was a poet, and he wrote the Songs of Solomon, among other poems, but those are in the Bible that we're all familiar with. So that's the 6-pointed star. The 5-pointed star is, of course, the sign of Christianity. It's known as the Star of Bethlehem and rose as the brightest star in the hemisphere, which the wise men followed. And they arrived on the 12th day of Christmas, which is January 6th. It's not December 25th. It is the symbol of Christianity, and also starfish are a symbol of Christianity. I think everybody's favorite is the meaning of St. Nicholas and the bag of coins. This is a really great story. So Nicholas was from Turkey. He wasn't from Germany, and he wasn't from the North Pole. He was from Turkey. And it's thought that he lived in like the 4th century AD, but he was a very, very pious man. He was a bishop in Asia, and I think Turkey was considered part of Asia at that time. I'm not 100% sure. I could be making that up. So Nicholas heard of a very, very poor family, and they had 3 daughters. And they had no money, and they lived in really, really extreme poverty. Of course, the girls had no dowry, and if you didn't have a dowry, you didn't get married. And they are given, and so these girls with no money and no dowry were given into slavery. Nicholas heard about them, and late at night, he went to their house, threw a bag of gold coins into each girl's stocking, 3 stockings, that were hung by the fire so that they would dry, so that they could put them on the next day. So that's where hanging the stockings comes from. That's where these gold coins that we always used to get in our stockings when we were kids, that's where that came from. And that was the beginning of Santa Claus. The interesting thing is the Catholic Church, before they began to canonize, Nicholas was known as a saint of children, of sailors, of repentant thieves, of merchants, of brewers of beer and wine, And pawnbrokers. He was like the man of the earth. And so his fame spread, and it spread to the Medici family in Italy. I think that they were around in the 10th century. And they were known as very good pawnbrokers. They are the ones that took the symbol of the 3 balls or 3 coins, that today it's still the symbol of all pawnbrokers everywhere. They have, if you look, they have the 3 balls, and this is where it comes from. St. Nicholas many, many years ago. That's one of my favorites. Thank you.